What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Jasper Chase here, back with another moto vlog. Thank you for tuning in. Today, I am going to talk about something very personal. I'm sick, and I'll tell you why. Stay tuned. I have bipolar. Now you may ask, what is bipolar? Well, it's a disease. It used to be called manic depressant, and the reason why they called it that is because a bipolar person has really high highs and really low lows. When you're manic, you're really happy, and then when you're depressed, obviously you're depressed. And the waves for a normal person go up and down really, really small. Sometimes you're happy, sometimes you're depressed. That's just normal life. Well, a manic person goes really, really high, really happy, and makes bad decisions, like buying a whole bunch of stuff at Walmart that they don't need. And then as a result, they end up getting depressed through buyer's remorse, or maybe they're not able to pay their rent because they spent so much at Walmart, and then they get depressed. So for me, I actually have a serious case. I'm bipolar 1. My manic and depressant can change within an hour of each other. So like when I'm driving my truck, I'm just stuck with all my thoughts, and I end up I cycle through quite a lot of depression and mania. So this is something that I was born with. It is hereditary. My dad has bipolar. My mom had bipolar. My grandparents on both sides had bipolar. I just drew the short end of the stick on that one, unfortunately. So first off, I had to admit that I was bipolar, which was a really hard pill to swallow. It took me years to accept it. Look at that drop off. Oh my gosh. This is worse than the dragon's tail. These bikers are right in the middle of the street. So when I finally ended up accepting the fact that I had bipolar, it was hard. I went to a doctor and started to get on medicine. My dad took Lithibid, which is a lithium pill, and it's very dangerous, but my doctor was like, well, he's on that, let's try that first. And not to get graphic, but I didn't go to the bathroom for 2 weeks. That pill almost killed me. So I immediately stopped taking it. We got some other medication that it started to make me feel better, and I could notice it. It was a big deal. I got depressed again, and the depression was pretty bad. Fortunately, I had my best friend Oydirk, who really saw me through all of it. I would not have been able to get through it without him. Oh wow, all right. These roads are crazy. Roads are crazy. So I got readjusted, and I started getting way, way better. And then New Year's Eve of 2019, I hit the lowest point, and I had a bipolar incident that I will never speak of because I'm so embarrassed about it. It ruined my relationship. It made me, I had to move out of the state, move back to Jacksonville. It was awful, and I swore that that would never happen again. So I went to a therapist and talked to her about it. She offered this new medication that I had never heard of before. So I took it, and my life changed completely. Now, the therapist was not a good therapist, but she hit the nail on the head with that medication, so that was fortunate. It was unfortunate that I couldn't keep seeing her. She just didn't care. I was just a number to her. So, but I got on this amazing medication and it helped out so much. I got rid of my depression, it got rid of my anger, it got rid of my anxiety, it got rid of pretty much everything. The only downside is that it makes you go to sleep, which is good, because I also have insomnia. It's hard for me to go to sleep. So then one of the side effects is sleepwalking. So I would end up sleepwalking. There was one time, what's up, dude? There was one time where I was sleepwalking and I went to cook a burger and the grease burned and smoked, and the fire alarm went off, smoke alarm went off, and my buddy Woodrick, who is my roommate, he woke up in the middle of the night. He had ADT security called to see if everything was okay. It was a mess. It was an absolute mess. So I'm still taking that medicine, but I did get it readjusted, and I haven't had any real issues with sleepwalking since. So that's a positive. Now, one of the negatives that I really don't like about it is that it tapers down my mania, because like I was saying, your bipolars go really high, really low, really high, really low. So medication kind of puts you back in that normalcy, kind of high, kind of low. Well, when I was on a high, when I was manic, I was extremely creative. I'm a musician, so I love to write songs. I'm also a producer, so I produce tracks, the EDM, rock and roll, jazz, all kinds of stuff, dubstep. And when I'm on that medication, I don't get those opportunities to be creative, which is really unfortunate, because playing guitar and writing songs is something that I thoroughly enjoy doing, but I can't. It's just not there. It's surreal. It's hard to explain. It's just the ideas don't flow, and I can't write. I've tried to sit down and write it, and I just can't. So since then, I became a truck driver. I went to truck driving school, got my CDL, and started working for Swift Transportation, which is really funny. Swift, if you're not in the trucking world, you may not understand, but Swift is kind of the joke of trucking. People make fun of Swift all the time because Swift drivers do stupid things. They get stuck, they roll over, they hit bridges, etc., etc. We have different acronyms for Swift. It says sure wish I finished training, swing wide, it's a freaking trailer. The slogan for Swift is best in class. Other people say best in crash. Stevie Wonder's Institute for Trucking. I mean, all kinds of funny ones. But anyway, so I became a truck driver, and I have made quite a good living being a truck driver. So the financial burdens weren't there, which really is one of my biggest issues with depression, is being broke and not being able to afford things. If my car broke down, I couldn't afford it, or if I needed new tires, I couldn't afford it. All I was doing was being an Uber driver. So it didn't work out very much until I started driving trucks, and man, my depression went away 100%. Up until I started, like I said, I started driving, and sometimes I get depressed, sometimes I get manic. And unfortunately, it was within the normalcy. It wasn't really high or really low. It was in the middle, but ultimately I can't shut my brain off, which is something that I need to go to a therapist about and start really talking about my issues. I think that'll be the next level. I'll level up once I start seeing a therapist. And this is just a message for anyone out there that is suffering from bipolar. There is hope. You can get through it. There's medications that will help you. Everybody's different, so the medications are all going to be different. It could be completely different from what I have to go through. It's fixable. You can treat it. It's treatable. And I always recommend anyone I talk to that's bipolar to really go to therapy and talk about the issues, because medicine can only go so far. I'm sick, it's treatable, and I'm doing great. Will I have this for the rest of my life? Yes, I will have to deal with this forever. Unfortunately, it just is what it is. But I'm living a great life. I'm happy. I bought a motorcycle. I've got a car. I've got a great job. I'm actually looking at changing jobs right now and getting out of trucking, just because I've found something that could be more lucrative and something that I enjoy more. So for all those out there that are bipolar or are just depressed, just know that it's fixable. I guess that's my biggest message. You can get through it. So that's going to be it, guys. Thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. You guys keep doing what you're doing. I'm out.